So what are some of those movements that will give us these functions, this ability to be able to do life easier? We're going to have to do movements that look like baby movements, like creeping, like crawling, like doing different movements that integrate the reflexes, but they're not going to look the same as we did when we were babies, because we have a bigger body, because we have kneecaps. Babies don't. We have just a different structure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's been my life work in trying to figure out how can I modify some of these movements, some of these process, so that then we as an adult can go back and do these movements to fill in our gaps. But the most important thing, why are we here? We're really here to help our children. But the thing is, in order to help our children, we have to understand what is it that we're really teaching them. And so in doing the movements ourselves, it'll give us a different feel to the movements that we're asking, an understanding, a deepened understanding of what is it that we're really asking them to. Because many times we think it's like, well, this is what you're doing. Just go ahead, you do this. And when we don't really understand what we're asking them, many times our child is going to resist or not want to do it. But if we really understand what we're asking them to do, we're going to have more compassion. We're going to have more ability to guide them through their process, not tell them and push them and hurry up and get it done because I want this behavior to be over with. Doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and on that note too, when it comes to being the guide basically for our kiddos, and at times as parents, we know we get tired. It's hard to do all the time. But here's the thing that I thought right when you were speaking about all of that, and that was like playtime.
100%.
Playtime with our kiddos. And, being able to get down there with them, and doing different things. And then like even with teenagers, I can see, like a good playtime with them and having that be the calm time.
Well, meeting them where they're at and their kind of play that they like. And
Yeah.
what's so beautiful about play is that whenever we engage play, we're in a safe brain. And when we're in a safe brain, we can learn. And I always talk about this in my group that I say, I learned the timetables, but I learned in my fear brain. And then when I was trying to, okay, what's 7 times 8? And I wasn't in a fear brain, I couldn't come up with an answer. And so
Yeah.
then later on, I had to learn my timetables in a safe brain so I can acquire the information. Otherwise, we're learning certain things to survive. And I think as parents, we don't want them to survive. We want them to be happy, to thrive, to be
Yeah.
successful. Well, we need to understand then how to help the brain play, be at
Yeah.
ease, learn, really learn process, not learn because we want the result now. Yes, we want the results, but there's a process, and that takes a little at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, it's important to remember that with the kiddos, because sometimes in today's day and age, we can get so busy. It's just always rush, rush, rush. And then that's what we're teaching our kids. Like it's the fight or flight moment in that moment, like just always be in that mindset. And the thing with the way that the brain works for ADHD, we know that it's like it's not both sides like working in synchrony, right? It's like the
No.
entire brain is like all firing off at once. So can you talk to us a little bit about how you work with your clients to help the brain to start to work back into synchrony?
Well, one of the things is like the movement that I just shared with you, soothing heart. We need to do movements that will bring the brain into a whole brain state, but in a calm way too. So these movements allow a little at a time for the brain to start to get to know what are the tools that it can have in an instant to help it get back into a safe brain state.
That part in an instant.
In an instant. And that's why I love soothing heart. Like I do a little 3-minute talk every week that goes out because, and I use soothing heart in pretty much every talk, because even though it's only 3 minutes, we do that because it is so powerful. And the
Yeah.
more that we need to practice, that's the other part, that as a parent, we think that, well, I showed you, now you know how to do it, right? Now you can do it. No, the brain doesn't work that way. We need repetition. We need to practice. And we need to practice when we are with someone that really loves what they're doing, then they take in not only what we're showing, but that other person's energy. So if we want our children to listen to us and to do what we're asking them to do, we have to have an energy that they want to take in. Otherwise, they block our energy and they don't want our energy. And, we know that feeling of
Especially with teenagers, right? But
exactly.
yeah, but I love that. I love that because that is something I know you and I have talked about extensively with even me with my oldest, and just being able to like take that step back and just, okay, let's take myself out of it and just calm mode, take my emotions out and let me ask questions here, with them. And that really helps. And you've really helped me a lot with that. So I really appreciate it.
That takes practice. It takes a lot
Yeah.
of awareness, and that's where it's
Mhm.
not, when we have the awareness, but we're not practicing, then we're going to beat ourselves up going like, but I know how to do it. I should have already done this. Why am I not doing this? I know how to do it. No, 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 no. It's not like that. We have a pattern.
Mhm.
And so that to me is where the magic, I call it magic, but it's not, it's movement. The magic of repetition and movement and intention, combining it together, that then starts to build a different way of showing up. But we need to do it. And
Mhm.
that's, for me, Soothing Heart has been one of the best little movements that I just do all the time for me. And and if it works for me, then I'm going to teach it, because that's what just fills me up, and it works instantly. Now, does it work for everybody? Everybody's going to have different movements that they're going to like, but in Brainworks, we teach a lot of different variety of movements. But
Mhm.
as a parent, if I'm teaching a parent and they find a movement that they like, their enthusiasm, their just comfort level in their body and showing their child how to do that translates massively.
I love it. Well, Alma, thank you so much for coming on today and talking with us. We're going to open it up to questions now. And for those of you out there just watching this live, come on in and join our community with Strategic You at the Hub. You can find it in my bio on Instagram at Jamie K. Copeland, or at Strategic You, just the letter U, community.com, and you'll find us there. But we're going to go off the recording for right now and take those questions. Thank you again, Alma.
Thank
See
you,
you.
Jamie.